y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Steph, aka EclecticNista, and I am back with another Get Ready With Me story time. Now, you're probably like, girl, you already look like you're done. I kind of am. However, I'm not. So, why not just come back on and do like finishing touches? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? As you have already read in the title, this is about dealing with mama's boys, okay? And I'm not gonna necessarily say they have to be a mama's boy. However, when your mama get involved in your relationships, that's when it becomes a problem, okay? And to me, that kind of deems me, my definition, quote unquote, is to being a mama's boy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish my makeup with y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to me and why we talking about this. So the reason I'm bringing up this discussion is a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, Lil Jada had a situation with her boyfriend and they broke up. And you know, I was heartbroken for her that her old boy broke up. He broke up with her, to just be clear about it. And he just said that he needed to focus, and he's a senior, and he needs to, you know, it's time to wrap this shit up. School about to be out. So pretty much, I guess I'm not sure if he was like, how he was doing in school per se. But clearly, you know, parents had to crack the whip and say, I need you to get your shit together ASAP. So, they broke up. In the process of them breaking up, y'all, the parents was calling Lil Jada, okay? And, you know, just saying that right now, they just really need their son to focus on, you know, graduating and, you know, getting into college and all that. And as a parent, I completely understand. Sometimes we have to redirect the direction that our kids may be going because they don't see the outcome of all of this. So yeah, we have to do a little redirecting and telling them they need to get their stuff together and refocus. Got it. This is the thing though. They was telling Lil Jada also that she has become a distraction. Now, I told her, I said, I wouldn't take that as like a negative towards, you know, yourself. But to me, I just think, let's face it, when you're dating, you can become a distraction to somebody, particularly when they got something else going on in their life too, such as a really big triumph as in graduating high school on time and graduating, period. I know how I was last year when Jada was getting ready to graduate and, you know, just doing all this extracurricular stuff. You know, just you got to stay in their ass. But I have never been one to get in my kids' business when it comes to their relationships. And that's what prompted this story time from my own past, okay? Okay. I used to date this guy named Kevin. And I started dating him in, to be honest, probably the 8th grade, okay? Don't look at me like that because I was not fast, okay? I wasn't. However, I had met him finishing up my 8th grade year in middle school. How did I meet him? I met him through my mother. My mom, we used to frequent this restaurant all the time, and he worked there, and my mom said he was a nice guy. She introduced me to him one night. I was up there, and then we just started talking, and then it just hit off from there. Now, you know, there's a thing, you know, you start dating somebody, and I know I'm not the only one that did this. And I know there's still people out there that do this to this day. Listen, the game ain't changed, just the players. That's it, okay? With that being said, I have to say that his way he would talk to me, like, he really made me feel like we was gonna be together forever. And ladies, I know I'm not the only woman, girl, young lady, whatever. I know I'm not the only one that has experienced this. I know it's plenty more that have. However, when you start planning your whole life, like 2 kids, a boy and a girl, we're gonna have 2 dogs, we're gonna have 2 cars, we're gonna have a big ass house, we're gonna be living it up. And like, I remember fantasizing with him about this life, okay, that I never had with him. However, I was explaining to Jada when her and old boy broke up. I know that they had done did this too, because I overheard it. But I'm just like, you know, you're gonna go through this, and you can see yourself with somebody in the moment, at the moment, forever. However, forever don't always happen. So back to the story at hand. My mom introduced us. We kicked it off. We started dating. I go to high school. I'm just like in awe with Kevin, okay? Kevin is like my everything, all right? He was different from dating people who went to the same school with me. However, because he's a little bit older. So let's just say he was 2, maybe 3 years older than me. So, y'all know how that shit go. Once a man or a woman, in either case, turns the age 18 and you're dating someone who is a minor to you, that can, like, you know, strike up some issues, some conversations, some problems, possibly, later on in the future. And my whole thing was, I just wanted us to not be dramatic, but dramatic we were. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all. Y'all know I done told y'all the stories about how Mama Rose used to be like back in the day, okay? When I say she didn't play the radio, she didn't play the radio. However, there was one time, Kevin, I was telling him, you know, I would be cold in school, and like we'd be talking on the phone, and he was like, you be cold, and I'd be like, yeah, I be cold. So he calls himself purchasing me this very expensive leather jacket, might I add, okay? Very expensive. And he brought it to my grandma's house one day to give it to me. And I'm gonna tell y'all, my mama was not with the shits, okay? She was like, okay, I understand you told him you be cold in school and stuff, but he had to go buy you a whole leather jacket. Bud! Come on now! That's your daddy. Go greet him. Y'all know Bond gotta be part of the story, okay? Y'all just know, okay? He ain't letting that shit go. That's your daddy. There go the alert thing right there. Anywho, I told y'all my mama didn't play the radio. She didn't. So she was like, why is he buying you like this expensive ass leather jacket for somebody who said they cold in class? Now y'all, we would have probably never knew how much the jacket cost, maybe if he didn't leave the tag on it, but he did, with the receipt in the bag that it came in. And my mama was like, you know you're not keeping this, right? And I was like, really? I didn't understand at the time, but I understand now, okay? And I did understand later on down the road. However, my mama kept thinking, he's around here trying to impress you and buying you expensive things for what? What does he want from you? And at that time, y'all, I was like, he just loves me. He just loves me. Really, Stephanie? He just loves you? Yeah, he just loved me, okay? So, we progressed, and then I had finagled. I was at my high school up until my sophomore year. My junior year, we had moved close to where I could go to school, where he went to school at. So, make a long story short, y'all, he was a senior. I was I was a rising junior, okay? But At the end of the school year, he was a senior getting ready to graduate, okay? And I was a rising junior, okay? I just want to make sure y'all hear that, okay? So we have moved somewhere where I ended up being able to go to the same school as him. Now, my mama knew he went out there to that school, and she had her reservations. However, my mom's good friend, and you might as well say she's my god sister, Shayla, lived in the area where I could go to school with him, okay? And don't ask me how I bamboozled my mama, but I did. I bamboozled her, y'all, and ended up transferring to American Senior High School. So I'm catching the bus with Shayla every morning. I'm gonna just give y'all just a little tea. This is a little tea, okay? This is the tea. Off 211th Street, my girl Shayla lived here. If you went down the curve and around the bend, James lived on that same street. James, my now husband, okay? It was destiny. That's what I'm gonna call it. It was destiny, okay? So y'all, I'm like, OMG, like, I'm about to be going to school with him, you know? He's older, and you know, he was real popular and shit. So it was just like, you know, okay, I'm about to be that chick, okay? I got the fly-ass boyfriend. He got a car. It was a hoopty, but he had a car, okay? He worked, all of this, okay? However, y'all, when I get out there to the school, I went to summer school that summer so that I could get my driver's permit, right? Y'all want to know what Kevin did? Kevin purposely failed his computer class. Purposely. Did y'all hear me? Purposely failed his computer class so that he can go to summer school with me. Where they do that shit at? Because I'm going to tell y'all, ask me would I have done some shit like that? No. No, ma'am. First of all, my mom would been trying to hear that shit. Second of all, who does that? Now, keep in mind, I do understand. He loved me. And he wanted to have this experience with me while I was in school. So I was like, okay, this is what he doing. I'm not telling him to do this. You know, he's older than me. He know better than me. So, you know, he should be able to do better than me. So that summer, I was out at American in summer school, taking up a driving course. Plus, I was also making up a credit because I didn't do good in this one class, and so I had to make up this credit when I got there. So the whole summer we going to school, having the whole experience of, you know, being together in that type of atmosphere. And then summer came to an end. So school starts in August in Florida. So around my birthday time, hold on, y'all.
Beautiful. Your husband's calling.
Hold that thought. Yes, honey.
Yeah, I stopped at CVS. I'm on my way.
Okay, honey.
All right.
Bye. So, I gotta pause while I tell y'all this so I can stay on track because I got somewhere to be. However, my birthday came up September. That year, oh my gosh, he just made me feel so special in front of my friends, my girl, and all of this, okay? So, new school year done started. We done been in school for about 2 weeks now. We're at lunch, and I want to say the name of the restaurant was the Hungry Bear. We would go to the Hungry Bear just about every damn day. It was like a plaza over there, okay? And they had off-campus lunch. So we went over there. He met us over there. Y'all, I remember this shit like yesterday. I'm at the Hungry Bear in line. 2 people behind me. Guess who it was? It was James, okay? So James is behind me, and we are, what would I say we was doing? I was hanging with my girls. Kevin was outside waiting for me, and James was just admiring. Okay, so I go outside with my food, sit down, eat, and Kevin shows me this gift he has for me for my birthday. And y'all probably like, girl, what was it? It was this Gucci link chain. It was like the puffy hollow link Gucci chain, and it had a gun. It was like a gun. Yeah, like a gun. Okay. And so I was sitting down, he put it on my neck. You know, all my friends was like, girl. And I was just like, okay, how am I gonna get this home? How am I gonna walk in my mama's house and she gonna see this? We already had a whole conversation about this $400 jacket. Now here we come in with some jewelry now. So like, really, make it make sense, okay? Because she about to be tripping. So my mama was well aware that me and him was dating. We were an item, okay? And my then friend, James, he knew that me and Kevin was an item as well. He happened to walk outside when all of this happened, like, you know, with the necklace and all of that. And so we got in class later that day. He was like, oh, that's what your man doing for you? And I was like, yeah. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all in the beginning, James used to be like, why is they sweating her? Like, real talk. They is sweating the hell out of this shorty. Like, she's not available. She's not gonna holler at you because she's like real committed to her man. And so I was like, okay, I'll tell y'all that story another time. We're gonna just stick to the topic, okay? So y'all want that story, I can tell y'all that story, okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Anywho, to get back on track about these mama's boys, me and him, we have been through so much with my mom. Like, we dated for like 3-4 years. And my mama, she used to be giving him the business, all right? And my mama just always been like that. Particularly with me, because I'm the oldest. So, you know, you got to test everything out with the oldest and figure that shit out as you go along for the rest of my sisters. So, I was the practice, all right? By the time they got of age and they started dating and stuff like that, she kind of had it figured out, all right? So when I tell y'all my mama used to wreak havoc and give him hell, y'all, it's just so much drama. We would break up because of her, then we'd get back together. She would be liking him, hating him the next, the whole nine, all right? So then it got to this point where we had broke up this time, and it was like kind of permanent. Well, I thought it was gonna be permanent. Well, at this time it was permanent because I was like, I'm tired of going back and forth with this too, because look, it's only supposed to be 2 people in a relationship, 2 physical people. I understand God is the third rope in a relationship, okay? However, 2 people in a relationship, and why is everybody like putting their 5 cents in, all right? So make a long story short, we had broke up. We decided to go our separate ways. He decided to go to the Navy, and he actually had got stationed in California. Now, during all this time frame, this was me now, a senior, January of 1992. I can tell y'all this because I remember this shit. So he had decided that he was going to go to the Navy. He was going to move away, and he kept telling me that, you know, all these dreams and promises that we had made with each other and stuff like that, oh, they're gonna come true. They're gonna come true. No, they're not. Okay. So I had found myself telling Jada this story the other day, and I was like, you know, sometimes we be so in love and in our feelings and stuff to the point that we just don't quite. We got to go through some people to get to the person that we're supposed to end up with. Do you feel me? So his mom, when she found out that we had broke up, y'all, no lies, okay? We had been broke up for about a year, maybe a year or 2, because I had done graduated from high school. I was in college, and I was with James. I now was with James, the boy that lived down the street that I used to get on the bus with. Never knew that was going to be my husband. But that's how it played out. So after about 2 years, he had reached out to me. And Kevin, he reached out to me and he was just asking me how I was doing. I was like, I'm good. You know, I'm in a relationship. How are you? He's telling me he's in California. You know, he was in another relationship as well, and everything was going good for him. And I was like, well, good for you. I'm like so happy to hear that. Like, you know, I think he was in the process of being engaged, if I'm not mistaken. So with that happening, oh my gosh, his mama picked up her phone one day and decided to pay me a phone call, okay? She called me. She was like, how are you doing, Stephanie? I said, I'm fine. She said, well, I just wanted to reach out to you and have a conversation with you in regards to Kevin. And that I'm so glad that Kevin is finally over with you. He's finally over you. He's gotten over you now, okay? He has moved on and he has a fiance now. And, you know, she makes him happy with no drama, yada, 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 yada. I was like, okay. Well, good for Kevin, you know, good for him. So she was like, you know, I have been wanting to tell you this, and now I'm going to tell you. And I'm so happy that he has nothing to do with you or your mama no more, because it was just too much. You allowed your mom to control your relationship, and therefore my son was too good for you. I was like, okay. I can accept that. She in her feelings, and let her be in her feelings, right? So y'all, fast forward. 6 months later, old boy comes home from California. Prior to him coming home though, he reached out to me. He asked me once again, how am I doing? I told him I'm fine. And I also told him that I was pregnant. And he was like, what? You what? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, from who? Nobody you know with, no, nobody you familiar with or anything like that. He was like, word? Yeah, word. So it was like I became this mission for him, because after I got that phone call and I told him what I told him, oh boy decides to pay me a visit when he came to Florida on leave, okay? So the day that he happens to pay me a visit, I'm actually at my grandmother's house, okay? And chilling, just having a regular day. Me and my mom and my grandma, we was about to go to Sears, and we was about to go pick out Jasmine a crib and all of that stuff. And then so he pops up. I happened to be the one to open the door, and as I opened the door, and he was like, what's up? Y'all, when I tell y'all, like, here it is. I am carrying my husband's child, well, my boyfriend's child at the time, and me and him also have talked about this future we're gonna have. I don't think James and I went so much in detail as me and Kevin did. However, we did have some detail and some dialogue, okay? So with that, it was like seeing him, and hadn't seen him in like 2.5 years. It's like, whoa, like here he is back in my face, and why is he over here, okay? His mama done called and threw it in my face, rubbed it in my face, that her boy got him a fiance, a girl, he got a baby on the way too, and he living happily ever after. But why is he at my grandmother's door, okay? Like, why? Explain that to me. So he said that he had to see it with his own eyes. He had to see that I was pregnant from somebody else with his own 2 eyes. He came in, y'all, my family loved him. My mama loved him too. I don't care what you say. She see him to this day and she still gives him love, okay? At the same token, it was like the attention got redirected to somebody else now. So he no longer was a problem. He no longer was the issue, the situation. Now it was James. James was the situation, okay? And James used to be going through it too with my mama too, okay? Especially when we found out we was pregnant, okay? If you want to know that story, please be sure to go to my Storytime playlist and you can see when I told my mama I was pregnant. You can watch that Storytime live. Okay? I know y'all smart and real intelligent, and y'all probably realize, like, time has passed, right? Like, real time has passed because now it's dark. So I had to cut off, go do what I had to do, and come back. Now, let's finish the story. Beep. So, James is now the new attention. So now that we've been dating for 2 years, have a baby on the way, you know, my mama still had to wreak havoc, okay? However, old boy showed up to my house. Now, let me remind you, his mama said he was happy. He was with someone else. He was engaged. But you showing up on my doorstep. Make it make sense. Next. A boy showed up that day at my grandma's house. He could not believe I was like 8 months pregnant, ready to drop this load, and we were getting ready to go to the store. Now, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, my mama probably was a little messy. She was messy. She was messy, okay, because we was getting ready to go to the mall, me and her, like I said, with grandma, to go pick out Jasmine's crib. And so my mama said, would you want to come take a ride with us? Mama, did you forget whose side you on? You are Team James, not Team Kevin, okay? So, anywho, y'all, he went with us to the store. Walking around in the store, he was looking at me like I was a whole snack. Okay, because you know I used to be like teeny tiny little stuff, you know, size 00, and now I'm like all voluptuous and thick and shit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know they say pregnant women is sexy as hell when they're pregnant. Yes, we are, and we sexy afterwards too. Okay, so we are in Sears, y'all. Dude is like asking me about my baby daddy. He asking me, do he know him? You know, did you meet him, like, you know, at American and all of this? And the answer was, no, you don't know him. Yes, I met him at American. And yes, he was somebody that I was friends with while I was dating you. And y'all, I ain't a player, okay? My player card, seal still on it, intact, ain't broke or nothing, okay? However, I'm gonna have to say, when I'm your girl, I'm your girl. I ain't nobody else's girl. Nobody else can be claiming me, okay? So that was a turn on to James. James was like, that was a trait that he actually admired, okay? So we in Sears, and y'all, we looking at cribs, and y'all, why he tried to stop and kiss me? I was like, boy, give me 50 feet. Do you hear me? This is before social distancing. Give me 50 feet. I was like, time out. Dude, like, what is up? Like, you have a baby on the way. You are engaged. You live in California. You're doing well in the Navy. Like, make it make sense. And he literally just told me, he said he still wanted to be with me. And that he said that he was like mad that I was pregnant from somebody else and it wasn't him. Now, ain't that some shit? Y'all know how that story go. They had you, and now that somebody else got you, and they put in the work to get you, now, oh, you attractive again. Oh, now I want to holler again. Not, y'all, oh boy, I had to tell him, like, look, this not happening, okay? First of all, I'm with child, okay? When I tell y'all I was full 8 months pregnant, okay? My baby shower was in the beginning of January. I had Jasmine January 25th. Check this out. Remember that mama said that he was happily ever after, he was having a baby and all of this shit? Well, y'all, guess what? Jasmine and his son are 3 days apart. Birthdays. Ain't that some shit, okay? Whew. Anywho, y'all, I had to go back by my mama. I could not like be around him alone because he just was like trying. And y'all know how dudes are, you know, they're gonna try because they want to test to see if you are really all about this dude. He was like, you know, I heard you having your baby shower. He was like, you know, can I come? And I was like socially awkward. Like, why would you want to come to my baby shower knowing that my baby daddy gonna be there? Okay, but y'all, my mama invited him too. That's why I said Mama Rose, she was a little messy, okay? Messy. Y'all, that dude showed up. He showed up to the damn baby shower on Sunday, okay? Showed up late as I don't know what, which was fine with me, okay? But when he came in, y'all, he came bearing gifts. He walked up to James because James was sitting by me when we was giving gifts, receiving gifts and stuff like that. And so after we had broke out, you know, to eat and all that stuff, he walked up to James and he handed James a gift. And it was a box of amethyst earrings because he knew Jasmine was an Aquarius. So he was like, you know, congratulations. You know, I know you've probably heard of me. Y'all, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. James was like, you're irrelevant. Yeah, I know of you. However, I really should be shaking your hand and thanking you right now, because if you hadn't fucked up, guess what? She wouldn't be my baby mama. She wouldn't be my wife. She wouldn't be my soulmate. I would have missed out because of your fuck ups. So he was like, thank you. Thank you. Now, he ain't say that to him in his face now, y'all. You know, he ain't do all that. But he was just like, this is a bold ass man, okay? So y'all, he kept trying to get me alone at the baby shower too. And I went to the bathroom. Y'all, I come out the stall. Guess who's standing in the bathroom with me? This nigga, okay? And he was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to like move forward with this? And I'm like, you act like I'm gonna get married tomorrow. I said, dude, I'm getting ready to have a baby, okay? I don't know where this is gonna go. My mindset was when I dated him, he went to the military, and all these plans and all these dreams and fantasies and shit that we had done planned out, none of that shit came into fruition, okay? I had another boyfriend, same thing, went to the Navy, same old bullshit, okay? People talk that talk, but don't act that, because when they get with their ass going, child, they end up getting with somebody else. A native, you know, somebody who want to come back to the U.S., America, okay? Anywho, we're going to get on that because that's not my problem. You know, my problem is just dealing with guys when you don't have a true commitment with them. You know, you make all these plans and these plans never happen. So I am one to tell my own daughters, it's cute to dream, yet live in reality, okay? Because long distance, y'all, I don't think it works. It does not work. But he just was so adamant that like he had a hold on me. Like he really thought he had it like that. He's in the bathroom and he's talking to me while I'm washing my hands. And James is looking for me now, okay? Because James don't see me. And James don't see him. So James is on the lookout for where is Steph. I'm coming out the bathroom. He right behind me. And James looking like, this nigga really, he is really serious. Okay. So I walked up to him. I was like, it's all good. It's all good. And he was like, well, thank you, partner, for, you know, showing up. Thank you for the gift. But Steph, you ready to go? So y'all, we left. Let me just tell y'all this. We're going to fast forward 3 years. I done had Jasmine. I done got married. I done packed up and moved to Hawaii. Lived there for 3 years. Came back to Florida when we did our first PCS. We was going to North Carolina, but we stayed in Florida for 2 weeks, y'all. Ran into the same brother, Kevin, at the mall, okay? And Kevin I ran into Kevin's sister. Kevin's sister saw me and we was talking. She asked me how I was doing. Now my husband, James, you know, sitting outside on the bench with his uncle. They was just chit-chatting while me and my sisters was in the mall shopping. Ran into the sister. Who scrolls up next? Kevin, okay? Kevin scrolls up and, you know, they give you that, I gotta look you up and down, okay? Because y'all, I had done put on some weight. I was a little thicker, okay? A little thicker. I had a fresh James tattoo. And literally, he had saw all of that. He was like, James. And then I was like, oh, I said, yes. I said, that's my husband. And he was like, oh, so y'all got married? He said, I heard that, but I wasn't sure about it. I said, well, this was a rumor that was actually true, okay? And so he was like, okay. Still looking at me like he wanted to stop me up with a biscuit, okay? James Peep Game. Let me tell you, I had the coolest husband, okay? Because this is what I call security, okay? I don't think this was always there, but I think at this moment, this is when the security really kicked in. Like, she with me, Holmes, okay? Now I'm gonna need you to back the fuck up, okay? And go on about your business. However, he was cool, y'all. He was cool. He walked up. He was like, Steph, everything all right? Everything fine. I said, James, you remember Kevin? And he was like, yeah. He said, how you doing? Did a little dap, you know, all of that. And I said, well, it was nice seeing y'all again. I said, wish everybody well, and I'm gonna go on about my business. Now, y'all, when I walked away, that was a scene all within itself. Holding my man's hand with my halter dress on, that you see this fresh ass tattoo on my shoulder that say James, okay? And yes, I'm walking away happily ever after, okay? So the moral of this story is, y'all, these mamas be trying to control shit. It's real. It is. Because all the shit that my mama put my husband through when we were just dating, my mother-in-law, she told James the same thing, y'all. She told him, it's not worth it. I think you should just leave her alone. This is too much drama, too much. It's too much. Like, I ain't never seen you like giddy over a girl to the point that, you know, you would put yourself all the way through this. He said, no, I'm not running from this. She's worth it. She's worth it, and that's gonna be my wife. Y'all, this is ring number 3. This is ring number 3, okay? I'm glad that I ended up with a man that wasn't a mama's boy. I have nothing against a man who loves his mama, okay? Loves and adores his mama. However, in the Bible it says, once you get married, you cleave to your wife, okay? You leave your parents and all outsiders outside of this union that has now become one, okay? Me and him are so adamant about our marriage, our love. We're very protective about it. We keep people out of our business. You know what we want you to know. You know what I'm saying? And that's for my family and everything, because ain't nobody's business what goes on between me and him. Now, I tell the stories as a testimony, as a lesson to be learned, because yes, I was one of them girls too that was all believing everything a nigga told me, okay? Like we was gonna live happily ever after, like little Snow White and Cinderella and them, okay? However, it didn't happen like that. Everybody has their story. Nobody's story is quite the same. However, I am so blessed to say my story played out just like it was supposed to. And now look at me. I'm still with him. The 21st of this month, May 2021, I will be married to him for 27 years. We have been an item for 29 years. And I still love him and value and cherish him. And I just adore him. You hear me? that's my dog. You feel me? I will cut a bitch about him, okay? And don't ever let somebody tell you that if you say you'll cut a bitch about your man, don't ever make them try to make you feel bad for that shit, because you know what you got, okay? And the person over here telling you that you probably shouldn't be saying that shit, you might want to side at him, because you just never know. You never know. Stephanie is not insecure. Stephanie is not oblivious. I'm not naive to what happens around me. I pay attention. I may not say something in the moment. However, trust me, I'm clocking your ass. Do you feel me? Same thing. My mother-in-law said the same thing to my husband. I might not be the one. She was just too much drama, too much stuff to deal with. However, I'm glad he was a man within himself, and he trusted his own feelings. He trusted his own gut, and he followed his heart, regardless of what the number one woman in his life at that time said. So I say all of this to say this: keep other people out your business, including these men folks' mamas, okay? And sometimes you got to keep their daddies at bay too, because I love my father-in-law, y'all know that. But I had to check him a time or two. But you know what? He always fall back in line, and I love him even more, because no relationship is perfect. You will have ups, downs, sliding sideways, the whole shebang. However, just know that what you have with your spouse, whoever you with, okay, because this can go for dating as well, just know that if you believe in the fight and y'all love each other like y'all say y'all do, child, please, ain't nobody can stop what God done already planned, okay? It's already planned. It has been ordained, okay? So I hope you guys appreciate it and like the story time, because I just really had to set the record straight for my daughter. You know, when the parents start getting involved, I'm not gonna say walk away, because James could have walked away. Kevin did walk away, okay? Yet at the same time, you just gotta know that you got that person that is willing to fight. So because I already witnessed the fight in him, and he's never disappointed me when it comes to things that we've made plans on doing in the future, all I can do is ride with him. Ride with him, be by his side, be his backbone, be the one to breathe life, encourage, push him when he needs to be pushed, snatch him back when he needs to be snatched back. One thing that I can honestly tell y'all that I have learned over the years, nothing. The one thing I can tell y'all that I have learned over the years is this: breathe life into your man. And men, breathe life into your woman, okay? We need to be loved, pushed, driven, adored, admired. We need to still be able to feel like the same woman, the same man that you met when y'all decided to do this thing called together, that I still need that even years later. So I say all of this to say, you know, don't let parents and outsiders influence what you have going on in your relationship. So if you guys like these types of talks, because y'all know I got stories for days, child. I got stories. I mean, there was a whole bunch of in between them stories that I ain't tell y'all about, but you know, be a little bit more specific. Maybe you'll get a little bit more detail in the story, okay? Because I plan on writing a book one day, honey. I think my story will be a bestseller. I sure do. I do, because it's living the dream. It's living a dream, and my dream has actually turned into my reality. So it's so true what they said: whatever you manifest and put out into the world, that is what you will get back. So I've always prayed and asked God to bless me with not a good man, a fantastic man, a great man, a God-fearing man, a man who loves and cherishes the relationship that we have together. And I don't care what nobody say. People be like, oh, if your husband had dipped out on you, you think you would leave him? Yes, I do. Because that's the one thing. That's the one thing he has never forsaken me for. So if that's the one thing, then there's nothing else. Nothing else. He don't have bad habits. He cleans. He's a thoughtful person. He's ambitious. He's driven. He doesn't settle. He's always wanting to be better, and he helps make me better. And that's how it should be in a relationship. You should be able to complement one another. So if you ain't learned nothing today, I hope you learned something from this. And whatever you learned, leave it down in the comments for me, okay? And y'all, I look forward to having another story time with y'all later this week.